Do your introductions and get you rolling. All right, everybody, we are back. We are at the finals. I am Zach. I am joined by two very special guests. I'm going to let them introduce the players on camera and their decks. So first, we have Sugi from the Knights of Ren, one of the great content creators of the Destiny community that has been with us since almost the beginning, if not the beginning. So Sugi, if you could, run down Ian's deck for me. And then after that, Eric Wainwright will be giving a review of the Vader Greedo deck that is going to see if it can defend the 50% winning regional title. So Sugi, tell me about Ian's deck.
Yeah, Ian's deck is a Thrawn. No, it's not actually. It's a Tarkin and Snoke, but it does basically a similar thing. So there's going to be a lot of indirect damage. You're going to see Tarkin use a lot of different sides on these dice. You're going to see cheap dice like Force Jump. You're going to see holocrons. You're going to see Chance Cube. And Tarkin is going to be able to utilize the blanks just as efficiently as the resource sides. You're also going to see Snoke using power actions on Tarkin to make his character dice much better by +2, although he takes the damage. And it's just going to be this hodgepodge of control, damage, indirect damage, Vader's Fist, and basically it can kind of shift gears to whatever it needs to be. And it's a very interesting deck to watch, especially because Ian is an excellent pilot, and he knows very comfortably when he needs to move from aggression to defense quite well. And this is going to be a real interesting match.
Yep. It's a repeat of what Ian had to face in the semifinals, where he faced against a slightly different Vader Greedo deck, and Tim here is running a Vader Greedo deck, and some of the differences here is we've actually got Price of Failure in the deck this time, so that'll be something, and then some spicy cards that Tim has put in his deck. There's a Unyielding, and an At Odds, and a Clash, so some different types of mitigation than we see from some of the other decks, but we saw Tim use that Unyielding really well at the end of the semifinal match. I guess some of the other stuff is he does actually run an Ancient Saber and a single Force Speed, and his Econ cards are the Respite and the No Good to Me Dead are his 4 Econ cards.
Yeah, so a lot of people have been teching specifically against Vader Greedo, and that's been forcing the Vader players to protect themselves, because initially a lot of the cards in the deck were just pure aggression. You just rolled out a bunch of dice, you did a lot of damage, you didn't really worry about it, because why not? When you're dealing 20 damage by turn 2, you win the game. Now you have to have some tricks up your sleeve in order to make sure your dice stay on the table and you can stick that damage. It doesn't just disappear right back into your face. So this is going to be an excellent top finals, because it's been just crazy good Destiny all day, and we've yet to see a bad matchup.
Now, one of the stories of this, I think, meta in general, right? You see both players on Theed Palace, the battlefield, roll off. Ian's actually able to best Vader in the roll off, which is not super common. Gets to start on his battlefield, which means he basically gets a free resource on the first turn, gets an action, and anyone who has the battlefield can get that. And again, this is best of 3. A regional, we cut to the top 8. This is the third round of the cut, basically. The winner takes all. And both these players have played a very long day of events that started at 11 this morning Central Time. But I feel like Ian's in a good spot here. Loser of Game 1 going to get to choose the battlefield in Game 2. Same with Game 3, assuming we go that far. So just rolling Vader out initially here.
Probably means he didn't get either his Econ cards or he didn't get a 2-cost upgrade, which is probably not what you want to see, although he does run 1 mitigation, so it's possible he has a different plan than other Vader decks.
And the same thing for Ian. He didn't actually pull any upgrades on Tarkin, which is something we've seen. Usually he'll drop something early, like a holocron, Force Jump, something cheap.
Now, what we also might have here, I see 2 damage showing on Greedo with a 2 resource on Vader. So if he has heat, or what's the card to heal 2 from your opponent's character?
No Good to Be Dead, and he has 2 of them in his deck.
There's Unyielding. We just saw that win him the game against Matt in the semifinals. Now he's re-rolling off of resources into some damage and some resources. Probe here.
He's probing.
And he's, I'm sure, looking for friends in high places.
Well, let's talk about what this card does.
Yeah, so Probe is a 0-cost event. Look at 2 cards in your opponent's hand. Discard any events, including the Fear and Deadman there, which would have let Vader resolve 1 melee die against all of Ian's characters, which is good for a lot of damage, especially because he has a 2 or a 3 showing. And Rise Again. But at this stage in the game, I think hitting 2 events is more important to get 2 cards out of Vader's hand. It gives him less rerolls. Vader has a power action. If you remove some of his dice, he can discard a card to roll those character dice back in. And having less cards means that gets even harder to do.
So I am pretty sure that Tim is probably working on a Friends in High Places here, and he's only got 6 showing. So now the question is, does he use the second to last card to try and get Vader into that 7th point so they can get something free to hit the table.
And the hard part of this, right, is like I almost settle with 2 resources, 4 damage on your character dice here, and then you go into next round knowing if you draw Vader's Fist, you can play it. If you play Vader's Fist, you keep Friends in High Places in your hand. That's going to let you, whatever you play with 5 resources or 6 resources, is going to help you really get that and burst into the second round. Because even here, if you get it, let's say you get a Vader's Fist, 2 of the best sides on Vader's Fist cost a resource. If you don't have the resources to do anything with it, that's not going to matter that much.
Also, Ian is showing 4 indirect damage right now.
He'd have 2 money to do it, so...
If he uses the power action on Tarkin, he can deal 4 indirect. So even though there's just 2 focuses showing, that's still damage. That's threatening of Vader.
And we took a swing at Snoke first. So between Snoke and Tarkin, he chose Snoke.
Both Vader players going after Snoke first, which maybe just means I'm completely wrong about who to target first. And target selection is perhaps one of the most important elements of this game. It's a small decision, but it has major impact.
And so he chose not to use his Force Illusion there, which could have blocked that 2 damage, but he's expecting bigger dice from Vader in the future, so he thinks he can get more value out of that Force Illusion.
Now,
he's probably right.
If you're watching live, I'd appreciate you leaving a comment real quick. How's the audio video quality? Make sure everything's rolling before we get too deep into this stream. But assuming everything is, just say as much in the comments, and I'd appreciate hearing from you.
And here's the thing, like this is a real fundamental thing for card games. Never get too greedy. Sometimes you just have to take the rolls and prep for the next round because you don't want to expend too many resources. You really don't want to tell your opponent that you don't have what they're afraid of. So you have to be careful and just make sure you roll your dice, resolve what you need, and keep on moving. Because if you get too greedy, then they can capitalize on that. And not only do you not get what you want, but you've expended so many resources, you're losing the economy.
That's right. I mean, you could have rolled into a blank there, and it would have been devastating to him. So
I wonder here as well, like the targeting Snoke, if once you see a force speed, if that changes your mind a little bit. And the other thing is that, you know, obviously, I still don't know if it's the right call. There's Fist, turn 1 from Ian.
We've seen that every game from him, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's mulliganing for it because he knows he's going to be able to get to those resources. Now, the other thing is we saw Unyielding in the last game from Tim, and it was played to great effect. It sealed the deal for him.
It was like 14 unblockable?
Yeah.
But it's totally a finisher card, so round 1 is totally reroll bait, which is what he's used for.
With Snoke at 6 health left, going into the next round, with an illusion, a lot of times you feel safe, right? It's like, oh, he can't defeat my character because I've got protection here, and then all of a sudden
he let the Greedo dice go through. Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to me in Dallas Regional.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing too. If he does happen to land a nice big blow on Snoke and he decides to mill those cards, you can lose a lot of really potent tools if you're not careful.
Yeah.
So you have to be really wise about that.
I think discarding off the top of the deck, it's the same as discarding from the bottom of the deck to me, right? It's just random cards. So if you do lose potent tools, that is a bummer. But like, on some level, those could have also been.
It doesn't matter till the last turn of the game.
One of my favorite things here, you can see, I mean, Tim looking pretty just like energetic, like he seems pretty focused, where I feel like Ian's got a little more going on. Maybe, honestly, you know, I think this is, and this is a huge part of tournaments in my opinion. To me, Vader is not a complex deck to play. There's a few, like there's big decisions with like point to price of failure, like we saw I wish we were streaming the last game. But I feel like mentally it's a lot less taxing. So, as compared to, I feel like Ian, Snoke Thrawn, or Snoke Tarkin.
Ordering correct.
You got to get every ounce out of every die. Every single one. I played Ian first round, and I mean, watching what he was doing was just remarkable. And we've seen him here on stream already in the top 8. So I think that's important. I remember last year at Worlds talking about running Thrawn Talzin and the reality of just how much mental energy Thrawn requires, which is amazing, thematically speaking, right? Like, but at the same time, there is a cost to running those characters in the tournament.
And he's doing very well, too.
Here we have a Greedo at 6, and unlike the semifinals, there's a price of failure, at least in his deck. So it's possible that that Greedo turns into a whole other Vader activation.
Which is what we saw in the previous game, where he turned 1 damage on a character into a dead Yoda and a Chewie that was hurting.
And we see Tarkin here with two indirect sides. So if he resolves those, indirect means your opponent gets to put the damage where they want it. But Snoke's power action, you can damage any character besides Snoke, and then resolve one of their dice at +2. So he's got 6 damage showing that almost certainly has to go on Vader, right?
Well, unless he's resolving Greedo now, but I think you're probably right. I mean, it looks like Tim's still looking to get that Friends in High Places off right now. So he's hopefully putting something out first.
I feel like that indirect just stacks up.
It's a very deceptive mechanic because even though you're allowed to place indirect damage wherever you want, because you have specific targets you need to survive and dice you need to resolve, it becomes direct damage to a sense.
Sure.
Because if you kill Greedo, then the rest goes to Vader. If you need Greedo alive, then it all goes to Vader. And that just starts to complicate things.
All right, so he's activating
So
Vader.
he doesn't have another upgrade for Vader, which is...
Well, he's got 5 resources. He's got
He
2 stacked
must
up
be
there.
digging.
You see on the top?
Yeah.
So I have a feeling he's got some Vader's fist coming.
Or Rising.
So look,
yeah.
I mean, we're looking at... That's a 3 indirect.
Yeah, so
so we're
7
9 indirect damage here. That's enough to get Vader to 10.
You say 9? Isn't it just 7 indirect damage?
Well, it's a 3 plus the power action to do 2 extra with Snoke.
Oh, got
Because
it.
you can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9. And we haven't even rolled in Snoke to use the Tarkin power action. This is everything Ian could possibly want, though.
I mean, the thing about this, too, is assuming Tim has an unyielding, he's actually 1 short from just being able to off Snoke,
And
which would be helpful.
although
That
there's
would be
only
nice.
1 unyielding in the deck, and he's pitched it round 1. So
Oh, I thought he had 2.
Unfortunately.
So he doesn't like you're going to lose the Greedo die, getting rid of 3 damage. That's a great exchange.
it is, except for the fact that he's really trying to get up to his friends in high places, and that's
Yeah.
going to make it a lot tougher.
So we think. He might just have fist in hand, and he's
But
got
that's
5.
that's the play. He wants Ian to think that, so he plays around it,
Yeah.
trying to keep him honest with
All right, so
removal.
he's paying 1 here. And he is playing 4 solutions. So
A classic.
that's really good. That's going to at least stop some of the bleeding.
Ooh, a holocron.
On Snoke.
Value Town.
Taking his time. I have
That's a risky play, though.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's
I mean,
a
it's a
zero
zero-cost
cost
die.
thing, so...
It's not that risky, but
Sure, but wouldn't you want the die to stay around? No.
I
he gets
have
to use
a
it this
feeling.
round.
That's true.
I have a feeling.
It ups the chance of Tarkin being able to get his power action, which right
Yes.
now, all these other dice are very useful. Right?
Yes, no, you're absolutely right.
I have a feeling we're going to see price failure this turn.
I think so too. I think we're about to see some shenanigans here.
That's just my looming suspicion.
Well, if you look at the Vader player's body language, he's not shaken. He's still very solid, which means he has something. Otherwise, you might see a little bit of concern.
If he can pull off even 6 or 7 damage here against Tarkin, and then price of failure and go back with Vader,
That'd be impressive.
I
and
would-
we saw it happen. So
we
it's
saw
possible.
some. Last game was maybe it's Tim. Tim had 2 cards in hand, decides to price of failure, and then rolls in Vader, and then gets 7 and does friends in high places and hits fist, and is able to just wreck with no cards in hand. It was really a miracle of a game.
Yeah, it's like we said that he was playing against Chewie Yoda, and there was 1 damage on the table, and by the end of that round, there was a dead Yoda. And
Squirrel
Chewie-
76 asking what round is this? This is the finals of the top 8. We will be posting the lists, I believe, on Monday. But this is Vader Greedo versus Snoke Tarkin. There were 2 Vader Greedos in the cut: a Snoke Tarkin, a Yoda Chewie.
Tobias Beckett with Mother Talzin and Profitable Connections.
Yeah, we saw that in the first.
Sienna Ray, Tobias Beckett, and Armored Reinforcements,
Yep.
which is the Fire Spray deck. Han and Kira, and a Solo Sabine was the 8th one.
It was a pretty
impressive.
wide meta. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Tim making a face now.
Whose action is? We haven't really seen much happen here.
I think
I'm
it's
assuming it's Tim's.
I think so. I think the last thing we had was the holocron come down.
So he must be pondering a reroll. That's what I'm wagering. Is he's trying to figure out if he pitches a card to reroll, or he price of failures.
Frank, this is game 1 of the finals.
How many thieves? All of them, Jim.
a lot of thieves.
Yes.
Not everyone's on thief, but there were a lot of them. So
I was not on thieves.
I mean, I feel like it's pretty safe just to resolve the 4 on Vader. Although, if you're wanting to resolve it into Snoke, I don't know that you do.
That's the problem right now.
That's probably what
4
he's
solution sitting there.
deducing.
Did I mention look at Ian's face right now. Did I mention that I am desperately looking forward to rotation before Solution can get out of here? Just
I think,
saying.
see,
He's going
see,
for it, yeah.
oh, he did. He
No, he rerolled.
rerolled. He must
Yeah.
have an extra one.
Hello, Frank. Welcome to the stream. We need to see you back in here on a Wednesday night. Hang out, play some Destiny. It's super chill these days. We'd love to have you back.
He's got to have an extra
Is that a 2 or a
price.
3, though?
I think it's a 2.
That's a problem. Yeah, I mean, all his cards must be high value, right? And that's what his problem is. He's like, I want to get to my friends in high places. I mean, I bet he feels like he's behind, which I think he is right now. So friends in high is one of those cards that can turn that around.
But this is one of those tells, like, he has to have that second price of failure in his hand, because if he just ditched it, that seems like a very bad play, in my opinion. Because you kind of want Greedo to come. All right, here we go. Sticks? Nope.
You got resources.
It's interesting.
Ooh.
If you have price, you probably just resolve all that now.
Yeah, I think so. This is just great Destiny because the trees of decision are massive at this point. Do you take resources and prep yourself to play big cards and removal? Do you deal damage? Do you price of failure? And that's what really makes Destiny such an interesting game as opposed to a lot of others, is you have the dice and the cards, so it's always just one step into a deeper cave of enjoyment. And you get to play with some really cool characters like Vader.
He's good.
So Squirrel, the 3 that you missed are Chewbacca,
Sabine.
Yoda. Got that one. Got another Vader Greedo, a second Vader Greedo. And then Tobias, Mother Talzin, Profitable Connections. That'll be your 8.
Here we go. It's like you said, you're starring it into
All right,
Snoke.
he's hitting 2, so Snoke just takes it. Gonna do 3 indirect damage here.
I think
with
Vader
Vader's
takes
fist.
it.
I almost like. I mean, he had price of failure, so I feel like the time was. I still think he's going to go for price of failure, by the way.
Yes,
If
I
he's
absolutely
resolving
agree.
this, I think so. I think that's why he's debating re-rolling, because he's like, that puts his cards so far down that he'll have nothing to re-roll with afterwards. So it's interesting, is we know Ian was watching the last thing, so we know Ian knows he has Unyielding, but does Ian know there's only one in the deck? Because right now, not using that illusion
Ooh, hits a dagger.
is pretty big deal, because if he rolls in a 4, that's just Snoke off the table.
Yeah.
And Snoke hasn't actually rolled out, so you've got 2 Snoke dice.
Right.
You've got a 4-speed and a holocron. And guess what? I keep saying Thrawn, but Tarkin hasn't used his power action yet. And there's still 2 indirect there, just hanging out.
I don't know, if I was Ian, maybe I would try to roll in a little more aggressively and focused into the discard on Tarkin, because Tim just is... It seems like he has awesome cards if he's throwing price of failure, right? And so emptying that hand this round so you make sure that all that craziness doesn't happen.
I mean, because I don't know that he's used Feed yet.
No, there's no power action on it.
Does he have Fist?
I think he would have played it by now.
I sincerely believe you're correct.
Mean, I feel like he's trying to like get Ian's control out.
I think you're right, but I'm just not sure what he's trying to do. Like here.
The better of me. This is Star Wars Destiny. If you are interested,
there it
is.
is.
Price of failure. So he's rolling in Greedo.
And Greedo gives you
and
nothing.
He gets a blank.
Okay.
But
Classic
if
Greedo.
you're interested, check out our Learning Destiny series on our website or on YouTube particularly. You can watch series videos. Particularly the what is it, how to play it are going to be what you want to see, and that'll walk you through everything you need to know in order to play this game.
No upgrades, really.
The card in his hand is almost assuredly
Fist.
No, Friends in High Places. He's been trying to get Friends in High Places the entire round 1 and round 2, and so I mean I'll give all my credits back if I'm wrong about this one.
I feel like
how many credits do you have?
You want to wager that?
I was going to say, I'm in on this action here.
I feel like sometimes Friends in High Places is a trap.
Sure. I mean,
when you start playing too hard to it, because like if he does all this work, and again, sometimes it wins you the game, like he did last time.
I mean, the first round he didn't, right? He tried 1 reroll and then he just resolved, so he accepted it and went on, right?
The better
in this round, he tried 1 reroll and then he went on to do his price of failure thing. So I mean, it's not like he's towed the line where it was a good chance, but I mean, he was debating every time, right? So
yeah, the game is amazing. There's some great starter sets available that you can pick up and just kind of get your feet wet in the game. And like Zach was saying, they have a learn to play video that just kind of go over all of the fundamentals of the game. But definitely try it out. It's a lot of fun. It's a fantastic game if you're playing casually or competitively with friends and family.
You see Tim looking at the card. He keeps looking at it, being like, "Man,
I wish I
just
had
can't get there."
Yeah.
So the question is, does he just resolve these dice and try and go to the next round to...
I mean, he's...
Try 3.
The thing is, I mean, he's going to go into next round with at least 8 money, which is good for a Rise Again.
That's
Rise
Again
is
good for a Fist.
I think Rise Again has to be in his future for him to come back in this game.
Well, we're about to find out.
He did not use the Force Illusion again. Interesting.
I mean, I think he's obviously waiting for the big
Sure.
The big hit.
But A, unyielding would make that seem... Anyway.
If only he could play Rebel. And if he had discards. It's a lot of parameters that are not happening here.
Okay, so he's got a pile of cash.
Uh-oh. See? There it is.
It was friends in high places.
Look at that 4 indirectors happening right there.
So I just witnessed him come back from a tighter spot. Although he had Greedo on the board and he could prize a failure last time.
This is true.
But, I mean, Tarkin's got 9 left. Snoke has 2 left.
Hey, with the Rise
Also-
again, it's, you might get 2 more rounds of...
Oh, he
I was hitting
Where are your credits at? Where are your credits at? Stream, we're getting credits tonight. Everybody, we're going to credits McDonald's.
So now he's
on the internet.
feeding. He's got 3, 6, 8 money.
If only there's a card that lets you spend money to do
claims. So now he's at 10.
I think 11 even.
So if he draws 2, Rise again? No, he only has 1 because he pitched 1 earlier.
Got 1 pulled from
That
the pro.
sucks.
I see a Darksaber, which is going to be good. But he certainly needs Rise Again here. If he can Rise Again Darksaber and have 2...
Ooh.
But Snoke just rolls in and gets any 2 matching sides, so do you have time to do anything?
That's why you got to Rise Again.
Got to Rise again.
Oh, yeah, okay. But if you don't have Rise Again...
Or you can go to game 2.
Tommy 210 says, make it rain those credits. Let's get these in here, Eric.
All right.
That's a start.
Hey, there's that ancient lightsaber. Rig detonation for the win.
It's a max of 5.
Rig
by the way, on the
destination.
rig detonation. But yes, you're not wrong.
I mean, 5 would kill him.
2 matching resources. It's
No,
enough to win. Right?
Doesn't that just finish
Yeah,
it?
Ian just says 4. I think he forgot about the Tarkin power action.
Yep.
Okay, that's game 1. Ian gets it. So it's going to be Ian and Tim round 2. Tim's going to get to pick the battlefield. This is best of 3. This is the finals of the regionals here at Covenant Tulsa.
Eric's going to go get those credits he owes us.
Yeah,
think
he
he
is going to go get a
wants
pile of credits for us. And few plugs real quick. If you're watching and you're unfamiliar, 2 weeks from now we're having the Covenant Masters finale here in Covenant Tulsa. Super chill, awesome event. It's going to be super fun. Everyone that comes is going to get a deck box. And you see the gold tokens on the left here that Ian's using. A set of those gold tokens just for showing up. Jeremy, the designer, is going to be here. It's going to be a great time. The other thing is, if you're unfamiliar, we have a subscription service. You can sign up, automatically get boxes when new sets come out. You get charged a week or 2 beforehand. They show up automatically, usually on release or close to if you're in the U.S. And then we also have Saga sets available for convergence. We're actually, at this moment, down to our last few that'll be shipping on release, by release date. And then after that, it'll switch to shipping within 1 week of release. So if you're wanting to get on that, I'd recommend doing so. And if you're listening to this later than when this was airing, we may be out or maybe a new set. So check to see if we have Saga sets and subscriptions. And of course, to everyone who is pre-ordering those, who's coming to the Masters finale and who's a box subscriber, we're only able to do all of this, the stream, the content, everything we do all the time because of you. So thank you so much for that. And again, a quick shout out to Sugi here from Knights of Ren for joining us to co-host this stream. And Eric Wainwright, one of our favorite locals, also for hopping on the stream. And thanks to everybody for watching because this is great. So,
Do it.
With that said,
before you go on about Masters, I was talking to Lee today and came up with a plan. So Friday night is going to be Trilogies decks, and you're letting us change decks between every round,
round.
totally casual and stuff like that.
6 rounds.
So 6 rounds. I'm going to be making 6 different monocolored decks, 3 hero, 3 villain in each color. I'm going to go up to my opponent and say, what color, what hero villain you want to play against? That's what I'm going to play against
That
them.
is amazing.
So that is
I
my
need to
plan.
make 6 mil decks.
So it's Trilogy on Friday night, 6 rounds, and I'm going to have 6 different Trilogy decks built, so I can play a different one every round. And then Saturday, we're going to breakfast before the event. Then we're going to get here, we're going to draft. We're going to have a lunch break, we're going to draft again, we're going to have a dinner.
That sounds like fun.
It will. It'll be I'm really looking forward to
I'm
it.
really excited to come do that.
I'm looking forward to the So the regional here that you're watching right now is the standard format, and so that's basically sets of Destiny are released in trilogies, which is a set is a grouping of cards. A trilogy is 3 of those sets, and standard is the latest 2 trilogies. So right now that's 6 sets: the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. When set 7 comes out soon, the standard will shift to 4, 5, and 6 plus 7. Trilogy will shift to just 7. But the Covenant Masters event is Trilogy, so it's just right now the 3 most recent sets, Legacies and Beyond. And I'm a big fan of that format and draft.
Which, for those of you who are purchasing product, it's anything that comes in a white box. Anything that's in a black box will be rotating out once Convergence, the new set, comes out at approximately sometime in the next couple months. Conveniently, that's also in a white box.
So looks like Tim choosing his battlefield here makes sense. We also had a question I'd be curious to hear his answer on from George. Do you guys think Snoke Tarkin is Snoke Thrawn A bit of rivalry, and why? I assume better than is the question that's being asked. Vader who just rolling in, not even getting the money, not trying to play an upgrade.
Same time as last time. That's
No upgrades. Feels bad, man. Oh, there's that force jump. And for those of you who don't know, it's what you do to make Vader hate your life. So it's a 1 drop that has a special. It's really all you care about. And you can resolve the special and just flip a die to whatever side you want.
And re-roll it back in.
And you get to re-roll it back in. It's like those credits we were talking about. It's just value on value on value.
And so good because Vader removing his dice, his power action lets him roll it back in. So here you're just spinning him.
I legitimately, I mean, it's crazy. I feel like Tim is...
Tim's on fire.
Well, he's so hungry for this friends in high places. Like, I think that's what he's trying to do here.
I mean, I'm hungry for McNelly's, but we'll talk about that later.
That's right. That's one of our favorite post-tournament spots. We had 22 at breakfast this morning, which was awesome, and we're going to have a crowd of people going out to dinner. So if you haven't been to a Destiny event, I highly encourage it here or anywhere, right? I mean, this community is great. I was playing against someone earlier. It was their first tournament, and they were having a great time. And I really do. I think if you play this game and you're thinking about going to an event, please do, and just be prepared to have a good time and have an open mind. I think you'll have a great time.
Yeah, I want to make just a real short plug. Like, a lot of tournaments are very focused on like winning, and that's it. And these Covenant events are focused on just having a good time and community. So that we do things before the event, we do things after the event, and during the event. So you're never just alone. Even if you come by yourself and it's the first event, there's plenty of people who are willing to talk to you and engage with you. So, you know, definitely don't feel like, well, I've never done this, and I'm alone. Come on out and have a great time.
He's at 6 here. He's 1 short of that Friends in High Places.
And for those of you who are new, you know, Friends in High Places is an event that allows you to, for 0 resources, if you show value of 7 or higher on your dice, you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and play any of those for free. And there's a lot of really expensive cards in these decks that both players are trying to cheat out because instead of paying 5 resources for a major play, they can just get it for free. And so that's what a lot of people are trying to shoot for, is a 7 or higher amongst their dice, especially Vader players when they have values of 2, 3, and 4 on their dice.
Looks like Tim overconfidence the Snoke jump dice there and got rid of the jump, and then Ian resolved the Snoke for a resource. My question is, do you have the just boldness to overconfidence jump with the Vader die?
Oh, yeah.
And
yes.
It's like almost certainly the only way that goes wrong is if jump hits one of the shield sides. There's just 2.
Do you know what was on Snoke die beforehand?
I don't.
Okay. But yeah, because now you basically used a card for a reroll, whereas he could have just done that
you
before.
guarantee you get rid of one of them, right?
Oh, there's that Leia hand cannon. We were talking about this. This is a die that costs 2 resources and slaps you in the face twice, and then 1 more time just for the heck of it. So we're going to start to see Snoke and Tarkin probably focusing that into some significant damage.
See, and now that Tim used the overconfidence on not his own die, and then reroll Vader into blank again, even if he has friends in high places, even if he hits, if it's Vader's Fist as an example, it's going to be hard to resolve it.
So something that's interesting is also the Leia hand cannon. It reduces your ability to have upgrades on your character by 1. So standard you can have 3. Now with the cannon you can only have 2. So Tarkin can only put 1 more thing on his character unless he decides to overwrite the cannon for something else, which probably will not happen.
That's right.
So I'm assuming you're going to see something cheap like Holocron or Chance Cube.
Ooh, there went a fist.
Yep.
And
Okay,
his
now
other
he's
card
got
is
7.
Rise Again.
He pitched a fist?
His other cards are Rise Again. I guess he found that is the more important thing.
He kept Rise Again?
Oh, he had must thrown Rise
He has a
Again.
friend in...
All right, he
He
played
has
it.
friends in high. Okay, so he made it this game.
And I saw him hit Rise Again, which is going to do nothing for him. And at odds, this is a horrible turn of events.
Oh, that's not
If he
good.
had just waited, he could have healed Vader. Oh, that's awful. That's what I'm saying, though, is I feel like Friends in High Places, like, you spend so much energy trying to get it, and then he did.
Sure, but here, all the stuff he threw was not stuff that, I mean, it wasn't like he didn't play an upgrade or something like that, right? So there was almost nothing.
So he's going to play at odds for free.
Odds.
Still not bad.
Yep.
But obviously it's not a 5-cost card for free.
Sure. But it is for free, right? So you got to remove a dice for free. We were talking about how good Hidden Motive was when you removed a dice, so he basically got a...
Also important to note for those of you just hopping on the stream, this is a best of 3. This is the finals, and Ian won game 1.
That's the player on the left with Snoke
That's
and
right.
Tarkin.
And that means Tim on the right here is going to need to win this game and the next one to win this championship.
Which, believe it or not, is very possible.
Unbelievably possible.
However, we're still waiting on Mr. Wainwright to deliver the goods.
All the credits. Yeah. Huge whiff. That's right. But, live by and die by the Friends in High Places, and now loses Theed as well because he was spending so much time trying to chase it.
Mm-hmm.
again,
So something that could happen, though, he did make 2 resources, gets a nice fat upgrade, and starts rolling significant damage.
Oh, it's nowhere near over. He's got 6 damage here on Tarkin. That's easy for Vader to finish off.
Yes.
He still could hit another price of failure. I mean, there's only 22.
No. Oh, no, that's for the other game.
Right.
Where he pitched.
We can call this a bad round for Vader, and what did he do? He still did 6 damage,
Yeah,
right?
that's why Vader's so good.
Yeah. Oh, no, Vader only did half of my health, and oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Golly, Batman.
So I don't know what Tim's got in his hand here, but it's almost worth it to me to get Greedo out, resolve his die, threaten price of failure. If he does interact, you can even defeat Greedo to roll him in. And because Greedo still has 3 health.
What's he staring at? How much indirect is that? Is that 5?
It's 2, and she's got the 3 on the hand cannon, right?
So
I think it's
5
3, so it's
indirect,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Which most of that's
7 if you use the
If you use power action. Now, Snoke's power action only works on character die. So if Tim has a way to get rid of that character die, can't you really use it on the upgrade, which matters in the long run. Now, you do sacrifice dealing damage to a character to increase their value, but
Man, Greedo is
Greedo does Greedo
unbelievably
things.
inaccurate.
I mean, remember, Han shot first. Greedo just died.
And there we got that special again.
Oh!
That's a
Needs to get
great
rid of it.
reason to roll.
This is a good reason to, Greedo using
hit
him
Greedo.
for... He
So
doesn't like
he doesn't like you, which is a 0 cost card. You remove one of your dice and remove one of your opponents, which is obviously great in this instance. You traded a blank for a special on the force jump.
Sure. But in general, we've paid 1 for our force jump, and now he's used a resource and 2 cards and a Greedo dice
And there's that
to
power
stop
action
it 2
from
rounds.
Snoke
So, I
we were
mean,
talking
that is how
about.
strong the force jump is.
All right, so he's taking the indirect on
he's
Greedo.
killing
rolled
Greedo.
the 2.
Really?
Tarkin's at 9. All Vader needs is a single 2 to defeat Tarkin.
All right. This could be a game.
Yeah. Tommy Two-Tone says, here comes anger. Got 2 blanks showing, which could be very true. There's
All right.
dagger. So
It's the Dagron of Mortis. He's going to stab
Vader's
him.
at 14 health, right? And so, like, if Vader can defeat Tarkin here,
That is very favorable.
we don't have Vader's fist out. We haven't seen the resources to get that kind
so
of power.
here's the
going.
question.
Here's the other
anger.
problem, though. He's still going to be able to use Tarkin's power action and get 4 more damage on Vader. I don't think that's lethal. There's no sticks.
All right, rolling resources and shields and a modifier here on Vader, so can't resolve anything. But that might be good if Ian's on anger, right?
Anger only does damage dice?
Yeah.
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 So he might force Tarkin to use his power action to deal 4 to Vader's face.
No.
Oh, no. He
he's
takes
delaying.
lead.
There's a darn good chance he has anger over
Yeah,
there.
he's got something which hopefully Tim can recognize. It has been a long day, but both these players are very skilled. I'm looking at Tim's body language here. I think he understands what's happening, and he's got to deal with it quickly.
Yeah, but
How do you deal with it? Just resolve your dice, I guess?
You cheat.
Don't get your...
Cheating.
yeah, I mean, hopefully
I don't
Tim has
recommend it, but-
something to do anything about Ian's dice, but he's down to 2 or 3 cards. So if he had it, he'd probably use it. Look at him right now. He is just. I love being able to see the players. Ian scratching his face, Tim looking down. Like this is a moment, right?
It's more interesting to watch what the players are doing than the cards on the table right now because they're just kind of sizing up the moment, and it's just so telling. Here we go.
Oh, he's rerolling.
He's going for the
taking a
nuts.
risk. So
Yeah.
if Ian has anger, this
Risky
is-
business.
He has
And
it.
he has it.
Yeah.
He's going to resolve.
Why'd you
the
tell
four.
our listeners and viewers, what does anger do?
So anger is 0 cost. If your opponent has 2 blanks, you can resolve one of their dice against them, and it resolves it. So Vader's power action, if any dice removed on your opponent's turn, you can discard a card to roll any of the character dice back in. But because it resolves it, it's not removing it. Anger is an incredible play right now in the meta. If you can consistently get to 2 blanks.
And, get into 2 blanks. And we saw even last game, sometimes Ian would focus into 2 blanks in
And
order to set it up.
that's particularly potent because Tarkin can power action to remove 2 blanks to do 4 damage. So Vader here, 8 damage, right? And Tarkin, we have 4
Threatening
more on the
12.
board, so he's at 12. So, I mean, I think Vader has to re-roll into damage here. I'm surprised.
You have to kill Tarkin.
I almost would have re-rolled the dagger to try to also get it to the 2 melee, because that can defeat
To at least
Tarkin.
get him off the board.
Because if he had re-rolled and then anger happens, you can now just
Poke him.
And
kill
the
Tarkin.
4 would
and the
be-
4 doesn't
Yep.
happen.
But the way he
So
did it, I don't
he's-
think
Oh, he doesn't like you?
Okay.
That's fine.
That's a good call.
So now he needs to re-roll that other Vader die into damage.
But here's
to
the
make this
thing.
a game.
If Ian is smart, he has a probe in his hand. He'll probe him to get that card out of his hand.
If it's an event.
Right, that is true. Probe allows you to look at 2 random cards in your opponent's hand. If they're 1 or 2 of them are events, you can send them to the discard pile. Now, of course, Ian doesn't really care about that right now because he just focused into indirect damage.
Yeah, I mean, Ian's slightly
controlling
ahead,
things
so as long
comfortably.
as he keeps putting pressure on Vader on the damage train. But all this, right, it's so... You can mitigate it by... All right, throw on the saber.
That
Blanks.
feels awful.
All right, so Vader going to claim,
He's at 10.
and he's going to have 3 money.
Oh, and there's the
Another
Leia
one.
cannon. They'll slap you in the face, up and down, left and right.
3
All right.
money.
3 money. He needs to rise again somehow. You can get to 4.
Well, I think he just has to roll in, hit
Kill
friends in high
Tarkin.
places in a
Yeah.
rise again scenario, and we're back in business.
That's true.
Which is why he played the
But
cannon.
number 1
on
is kill
Snoke.
Tarkin because 4 indirect damage probably is.
And a hand cannon and Tarkin's dice is
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
You need to get it off the board now. I've said it forever, which is Snoke in the end game is...
no
Okay, he got
sticks.
some sticks. He got 1 sticks, which is enough to kill, but
Oh,
it's not the
yeah.
money sign. So Ian has to deal with it.
Hey, didn't he roll shields, though? That can be useful. Although, you kind of need to kill Tarkin. Or, first you need to kill Tarkin, not get that mitigated. Then you need to kill Snoke.
Yeah. So
Which the fact that he didn't
Ian's
remove it is
forcing
telling.
him to
Yeah,
do
he's
it.
forcing him to get rid of him.
All right, here we go.
It's still a game.
The cardboard board has been removed. Now for the plastic one. Can Snoke do Snoke things?
The real question is, does Vader have significant control in his grasp?
And he does have 5 cards, so quite
Oh,
possibly.
If you have rise again,
And $3.
You have $3. You have Theed. You need to get
Even
one
if you
more
don't have Rise Again, as long as you can not die this round and give yourself a chance at Rise Again next round.
Yes, that's your second option. But
Because again,
tough to
Snoke
get there. Now he
is-
does have more mitigation than most Vader decks, so it's possible that he could even play that game for 2 rounds.
Yeah, and that's where Snoke not nearly as potent right now. Doesn't have Vader's Fist out. Doesn't have Tarkin to power action into.
Doesn't have $6 million either,
Yeah.
like he has in the previous games.
So the Force Jump is showing special, so re-rolling with Vader is just meh. I don't know if grabbing the shields is...
I think you take the shields and, like I said earlier, don't get greedy. Oh, is he playing Beagle? No,
Hidden
motive. And
Are we 7 for 7?
Nope.
We are not.
We are 5 for 7.
Curving back down.
That's right.
Feed numbers.
All right, we're at 12 damage on Vader.
I think you just take what you got, go to the next round.
Force illusion.
Smart,
I think
very
he's
smart
doing
play.
that. He still hasn't done Theed, so we can get to 3, go into the next round at 5.
Yeah. You do feed, you take the shields, you prep yourself for another round.
And Ian
And-
just
Uh-oh.
It got
Is that 3?
Focus in
He
the
got the
3.
focus. Not that that matters.
No,
so much.
because you can't. You can focus the force jump into no damage.
But he can still resolve for shields.
Because the other thing right now is
I would
you really
almost-
don't. This is a moment where Ian wants you to play into his trap, and if you refuse to play Ian's game, you're kind of getting ahead of the curve.
All right, so gaining 3 shields.
And then he took off the
resolving
shields
for 3.
instead of the
Feed.
illusion.
Yeah. Now, do you just claim
I'm pretty
here?
sure I would have used the illusion there. I don't see Snoke doing more than 3 damage to you in the future.
I know,
do,
right?
do you claim here to guarantee you have feed? Because if he takes the power action, I would assume Ian is just going to claim.
And then what are you going to do with your extra action at the beginning of the next round? I guess you get to give Ian the money, though.
Yeah, and you get Ian's at 2, so if you give him extra money next round, that's enough for a fist.
Mm.
Vader's Fist, by the way, is a 5-cost support that's insane if you haven't seen it.
It demands a doctor's note when it's done
I'll
with
leave
you.
it
Like
back,
it hurts
yeah.
real bad.
It does, yeah. You have to miss work on Monday.
But I feel like the play right now is you claim to deny Ian the ability to claim and get the money he needs.
Yeah, and then Ian probably is relegated to focusing into a shield and getting a shield with that force jump die, which is fine.
Probably tosses hard to try and get Rise again.
Yeah, I think that's the real
Yeah,
way.
you have to dig right now. real
Because
hard.
I think he discarded earlier a Darksaber. So if your turn at 1 is heal 5, play a Darksaber for free, I think Vader's
It'll
the
be
driver's
action
seat.
2 because you have to power action to get your 5th money, but yeah.
Yeah, but Snoke is his max damage right now is 7 rounds.
7. Yep.
And you have
with an illusion.
yeah, smart, very
Okay.
smart. And you have an illusion to block 3.
Now we've got rerolls for Snoke. Yeah, he's doing it. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
So
trying to
now,
get a shield and then
technically,
2
he
damage.
should have used the special on the Force Jump first.
What is he shooting for here?
Well, it's shields, but the question is, do you actually want a shield?
No, that's
Because
perfect. He got a
dagger.
shield and 2 damage.
Do you want a shield, though?
But he already has a shield. So
Oh, he doesn't have a shield. That's
yeah.
a power action token.
No, the gold token's a shield, my friend.
Oh, okay.
The power action he puts in the bottom corner.
Okay.
So he's canceling the 2 here.
Ooh, another illusion. Illusion for an illusion, but he does dig him into the deck because he desperately needs that Rise Again.
Yeah. All right. Huge turn. Going to get 2 more money. He's going to be at 4. He's searching for Rise Again.
Fear and
Vader
Deadman,
Saber.
Clash.
There's the Fist. And another Vader Saber.
So it's not going to keep him alive. That's a problem. So it actually would be not bad if he rolls shields here.
Did he have any mitigation? Was the first card? We had Clash, right?
Yeah, he has Clash.
Basically
But
nothing.
that's not doing anything for him.
Not particularly.
2 shields on Snoke. This is rough because Snoke has the focus sides as well.
Yep. So you get to steal a shield if you can get Dagger to
He's got $4, a full hand of cards, and most of that's mitigation.
And the problem is if he plays an upgrade, he's going to signal real quickly where the position is. He got the Dagger.
Okay.
That's good. And he got
That's
a
good.
shield on Vader.
Which is good. That's what he
that
needs.
gets him to 3. So basically,
All right. Okay. Either lose your hand or let me resolve that die against you and win the game. That means he's going to have to discard
Has
his
to
hand.
lose his hand. Wow, what a play. You want to tell people what that card does? Just
yeah,
very
I am
simply.
your father. 2 cost. You can resolve an opponent's die unless they discard their hand. Which is amazing because it gets rid of their hand. Like the moment where Vader says, I'm your father.
How much
So
damage is
good.
on that die?
I think it's a 2.
And he's got, what, 12 damage on him?
he has
Yeah.
12.
So he can let it through.
He could let it through, and he's at 1. So he's better have something real good in that hand.
Well, he has a Fist, which is what I think he wants to do eventually.
That won't win him the game, because
It
then he'll
could.
be 1 damage away from, like... And
I mean,
like
if he doesn't die, the Fist could do 9 or 10 damage in a turn, right?
it can, but the problem is you are risking a lot of biscuits.
Well, but he's in the risking
yeah,
biscuits
it's true.
game
It's,
right now.
it's very true.
I like the terminology evolving here.
I'm really hungry. I'm not gonna lie. Food sounds really good. So biscuits, credits, tacos, it's all coming together. But this is where you have to make a really clutch decision, and I wish we could see what's in his hand.
2 Vader Sabers, a Clash, a Vader's Fist, and I don't know what the 5th card is.
How much do you value that fist? Actually, I think the problem isn't the cards in his hand, but the ability to use the cards for rerolls.
But
Actually, I mean, if you're going for next round, these dice are okay,
True.
right?
yeah,
Getting
4,
shields
move
is fine.
shield, do 4, get some damage in, put some
And get
shields
another
on
shield
Vader,
when you do the
gain
dagger.
a money, play a Fist, hopefully get shields again. When he does some indirect, put some shields on.
You gotta slow roll it.
And basically, you're forcing Snoke to get to 6 damage,
Yeah.
which means if he uses double focus, that's only 5, right?
The other thing is, like, if you don't think you can win this round, right, then, like, part of me, especially if you know you have a Rise Again left, is, like, pitch the hand. Don't take 2 damage. You prevent 2.
And then deal them 2 damage.
And then deal 4,
Mhm.
get a shield, put 2 shields on, and now Snoke has to do 6,
Mhm.
which is a
And,
lot.
I mean, he has 2 money, and I don't think there's many other things that do damage in his deck that cost that
Yeah,
little.
and
So
it's
I don't think it's very doubtful he's gonna get there.
For him to hit 6, he would have to hit the 2 on both Snoke dice.
Yeah, and then
Like, and not use a focus on a Snoke die. So,
Right.
like, I feel like that's good odds.
to go into the next round with.
Yeah.
I mean, with all those cards, he's probably gonna get a double focus on one of his Snoke dice. That's 5 damage. That's
But
gonna
that's
put
where-
Vader at 1, right? And that's
But that's fine.
livable.
That's fine.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I think you just dump this hand. We'll see if he gets to there in the math. But I feel like that's exactly where this is.
Right, kind of like we were talking about, I wouldn't really want to risk 1 damage as opposed to 5 or 6. With the exception of if he had just something incredible, that 1 extra card that we don't know what it is, but I think you dump your hand. Yep. That one-
There you go.
Clash.
Yeah, that was just a-
Oh,
it was a Fear and Dead Man, yeah. So
Still
none
not
of those
good.
cards are just.
Yep. So resolve
Here we
it
go.
and get
Okay.
a shield.
Move a shield. I think that's.
I think you're right. I think that is the
100%
best play
line.
he could possibly have made.
Because again, I mean, Ian's gonna just have to do some serious work here.
What did he get?
Blank.
The jump does nothing.
The jump,
He got the
focus.
3.
He got the focus.
You got a 3 and you got a focus. The question is, do you try and roll Snoke in to get the other stuff?
I think you just keep.
I think you pitch your hand to
He's doing
try
3?
and get it. Yeah, you just pitch to reroll. Why
But-
not?
He's gonna use the
Because
power
right now it's
action,
definitely
battlefield.
2, putting him to 1.
Oh man, I'm telling you, this is the line, and I mean, the odds of him. He's only got like 8 to 10 cards left here. The odds of him hitting the other Rise Again is high.
It's pretty good if he
Okay, going for
survives.
it.
Here we go.
So once again, technically, Ian could have just re-rolled the special side on the jump.
Nope,
All right.
nothing there. He's got to pitch again. How many cards in his hand? 3?
3 more.
It's a lot of chances.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
he's
he needs to hit 1 and 6 on both.
which
I know.
is-
So
Still 3 chances is better than no chances.
yeah, I mean it's definitely doable. But
This
it's
is
also-
destiny. When the dice roll, the dice roll.
This is intense.
He claimed. Okay. So Tim claimed. So it's
Nothing.
We got nothing again.
Nothing.
This is looking okay for Tim.
at this point
Can
he's going
he-
to focus for the 2. So he's going to
Yeah.
put him
Okay.
at 1. Oh, he's debating it.
I think
it's
you roll it-
smart, especially depending on what's in his hand. The problem is like if you roll both Snoke dice and you don't get back to focus, now you're putting Vader with 3 health, with the Rise Again is 8. But if you put 2 on, at least you only need to do 6 still, which is
which is-
possible next round.
Yep. He's going the conservative route.
Yeah, but if you need 8, it's like he literally doesn't have 8 showing on the board.
Okay, so now Vader just needs 8. So the other thing is Vader could just roll an 8.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he had
and
to
he's
buy for this
and
turn.
he's kept 2 cards, or Ian has kept 2 cards. So and he threw a hidden motive. So hopefully he kept some type of mitigation. I mean that's makes
So
sense.
we're going to
for
see a
what he did.
really big play here. Either he gets the rise again, or he rolls.
And he
in
got
the
a shield,
nuts.
so it's actually up to 9 now that he needs.
All right,
Except
so-
for the dagger's going to steal that shield.
Yeah.
So there's a question if he should have even put the shield on. But
All right.
It's a close game.
Let's see if he gets the Rise
Does he
Again.
get it?
I see price of failure.
I see price of fit.
I see friends in high places.
Ooh.
So if he didn't get it, it's in the bottom
It's
2 or
in
3
the
cards of
bottom.
that deck.
Oh boy.
This is intense. You see people crowding around. You can't see a lot of people off the camera here either. Donovan getting in there close, really
Yeah.
excited. All right.
This is exciting. We might go to game 3. I hope we do.
Oh, Christopher's saying that both Rise Agains are in the bin, in the discard pile.
Ooh.
If true, big if true.
Could be bad.
so now just
Which is what Ian might have been searching for, is just to
to
see.
see. Yeah, when we saw Ian look through it. Yep. So what else?
Here, I'll
could
just
he
go
be
walk
looking
out there and ask. Can I look at your graveyard real quick?
Ancient Saber does
Didn't-
something if he
Oh,
wants to
wait.
do it.
Here we
It
go.
looks like he's doing Ancient, yeah.
And
And
bada
that,
boom.
that also increases his odds if he actually gets to roll it in.
Yep.
So Snoke gets just the range damage on the gun.
But
Which
guess
is only a
what?
2.
Vader should have removal right now.
That's true.
Hopefully.
If Vader can actually even just remove a die here, his odds
He'll be fine.
go back to where it was.
Yeah.
You're going to have to hit the indirects on both dice
Yeah.
to finish this.
So, but
Come on.
Tim didn't even put the dice on the Ancient Saber. He was expecting to have to heal with it. So we'll see if he actually takes this moment to roll in.
Hopefully he puts the die
Well, he can't
out.
roll in because you die.
Oh yeah.
He's got
Okay.
1 health left, so
Right.
he's got to either, he's going to heal immediately. So he's
So
literally
he has
got
no
2 cards in
removal.
hand.
Interesting.
And that did the damage back. Okay.
So if he can roll in and get 7, and Snoke can't deal with it,
Friends and I?
he's got that Friends and High for the Ancient again.
For the Ancient again. Yeah, that's significant. Here we go. Let's see what he gets. Oh!
He's got 6 showing. Double resource.
that
and
shield
2.
again?
No, it's double resources. If it were the shield, that would be.
So it'd be
Actually,
4,
for
5,
him.
6.
All
All right, can he
Ian's
remove
threatening
the
it.
2 indirect?
With his 5 stack of money.
Uh-oh.
Tim is really looking at it.
Tim, I think, could be the money. Uh-oh.
What's
It's
he got?
intense. Yeah, what's in his hand here?
Surely if it was over, he wouldn't tease. He's got his
hidden
motive.
Yeah.
So
Or do you
the
call-
thing
do you
is, do you
call-
call indirect or do you actually call focus because it's the 2 side on the Snoke die? So hidden motive is a 0-cost card. You reroll an opponent's die and you call it a side beforehand. And if that's basically the icon on the die side,
I think you have to say indirect.
Slowest says you can snag the shield, which you can, but that only puts you at 2, so that would then 2 indirect would still finish you. So
All right, what
he's
does he
gotta-
call?
I don't know what he's calling, but you have to say indirect.
You have to say indirect. Oh,
That's fine,
regardless.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right, Ian's re-rolling.
Here we go.
Trying to get it. Got a blank
I got a
again.
blank.
Oh man, you see Ian's face? He was disappointed there. All right, so now he's going to deal. See, this is curious to me. He's dealing the damage and getting shield, which doesn't help you. You got to re-roll Vader there, right? And try to get that friends. Because you can get that friends in Ancient.
The problem with the friends is you've got a forced jump over there that's going to make it real hard to get to 7.
Maybe that's why he resolved it.
Yeah, just
And he's
get
just
the
got to
damage.
really hope Ian can't get back to that indirect. See, this is the problem with
Oh my
Snoke.
god.
You got to
No.
research. This is the problem.
You know-
Not a finisher.
That is so funny.
I could make a comment, but it's
When
not
he had the
family
blank, he could have instead tried to re-roll the force jump into a blank
Yeah.
to try and get anger
trying
to
to
win
get
it.
anger.
That would have been ballsy, though.
That would have been
Vader's
hilarious.
just absolutely got to re-roll here and force the jump. And then when you force the jump,
Roll again.
yeah. Because Snoke's down to 6.
Yeah, you have to get that die off the table.
Now, the biggest threat right now would be if Ian can gain this money from Snoke and has 5 to play Vader's fifth. That would put this game over.
Judging by his face, I don't
The other
think he
thing
has
I
it.
really want if I'm Vader on the reroll is shields.
Yeah.
Preferably, yes.
I mean, 8 damage or shields. I'll take either
between
one.
Ancients and Shields and that board, you can keep this game going
Forever.
Forever,
Which
right?
is why I
Because
hate
Snoke
Ancient
needs to
Sabers
put
so
something
much.
in it. Yes.
That is the one card as a mill player I'm so excited to see cycle.
I love that the cards that I'm going to miss are the ones you hate, and the cards that you
Love are the
I
ones you hate.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
It's interesting.
Because
Last,
some of us have souls.
being a media person, we have to give that up, so
It's funny.
I'll take that.
Man, this
so
has
over
been
the last
an
2
intense
weeks,
game.
we've had a lot of debates over treasured versus ancient lightsabers, like in this list and some other lists. And so here's one where treasure doesn't do nearly as much for you as ancient does with
Yeah.
its loop. And,
I mean, Ancient is just
I mean,
like...
I think treasured is for the just aggro, trying to get the cards to really go for it.
But I mean, extra cards are just. I mean, cards are good.
Well, it's great because it replaces. It's a cantrip, so you play it, you get a replacement, so you can use that either offensively or defensively, whether you're rolling, pitching to reroll, or if you get a removal spell of some sort like mitigation, like you've got tools.
Right. But if you look on lists online, the Vader Greedo decks, some run one, some run other, some don't run either of them. But yeah, it is definitely a debate.
All right, Tim.
Got one side showing
Okay.
sticks.
He's
So
gonna blank
Ian's
it,
going to
yep,
blank it. Yeah, I
obviously.
think that's right.
And
And Ian's on
he got
blank.
blank.
Man, thank goodness it's not double blank.
That'd be
He was
bad.
on blank earlier with Snoke. If that had happened.
What's Ian keeping with his?
Look at Tim. Tim is starting to smile.
He's like,
He's feeling way
I was
better.
supposed to be dead 2 rounds ago.
Lady Luck is giving him a shoulder massage.
Man, I'm telling you,
Hey,
having
sometimes you play to win, sometimes you just play to lose,
Yeah.
and then something happens, right?
Sometimes you wait for guys to give you credits,
Long
but
enough to
we're all
win.
disappointed in this life.
man, I'm gonna be honest. This game is about 2 turns longer than I thought it was gonna be. It's impressive.
Tim is playing out to his
It's-
odds very well.
It's you were prophetic saying, I think Tarkin's the target because Snoke sometimes can't finish a game.
It's really hard, and when your best eye is that Leia cannon,
Look at Ian. Look at the body language shift here. Ian is like not comfortable with the situation, and Tim seems to just be
hey,
like,
he had that unyielding. Oh,
Oh.
there, 2 shields
oh,
and
2
4
shields
damage.
and 4 damage. Overconfidence.
Pro play. The blank going away, still on 4.
Oh, 4 damage to the face.
Now, do you roll back in the Vader with your last card?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course you do.
Let's stand. You just got to force Ian out of cards.
I agree.
Well,
but
also if
he
you roll
looks like-
shields, you're
Because
fine.
The 4 damage is not okay. He's just hit
What?
with 4.
Ooh.
Putting
Maybe
it
he's
to
got
2.
a control card. If he's got a control card, he's a shark.
Now it's 2
No.
to 2.
Oh boy.
All right,
Here we
Ian's
go.
no, he's got one more card after this.
Oh my gosh. Tense.
A focus and a special.
Special does nothing for you now.
And Snoke's down to 2 health.
Yeah, he's just going to claim.
All right,
Here we
last
go.
card on Ian's
Okay,
part.
so now
Can't-
technically you can.
No, he's going to take the shield.
But you can just activate the special to reroll to try and get them naturally. Anyway, doesn't matter if you weren't going to.
Oh,
Oh, he's
Overriding.
overriding. Yeah.
And Tim just discarded unyielding, which could have prevented that from being a thing. But Ian's got to be almost died back, right?
He didn't want to pay for it. He wants 3 because he wants a fist to finish it, I guess.
But we're going to see him get the Ancient so he can play it right now and heal himself.
He did not
Stifle.
get it. He got
No.
stifled, jump. I didn't see the cards, but there definitely wasn't a Vader's fist.
Well, also look at Ian's face. He does not look happy.
The thing is, too, like, if Vader rolls out that 2 melee on Dagger,
yeah.
he can just murder Snoke in his tracks.
Now, do-
We might be going to game 3,
Do you
gentlemen.
put your ancient down first?
Wait. I think you roll. I think you pressure for lethal, and you force Ian to play removal if he's got it. And then if he, does, then you play Ancient to secure yourself.
Yeah, I think.
Well, it's too slow. If you roll and don't get it, and Snoke rolls in, you can't ancient and then heal, right?
Yeah, Lobot rolls. He did discard an unyielding, which is, in hindsight, maybe going to be a big deal. I don't think he did during upkeep, did he? He only had 2 cards left in deck, so surely he didn't just randomly discard it. I think he did it to re-roll at some point.
Oh, no. Actually, I think you're
Well,
right.
if he wanted to get to his ancient. Maybe that was the
Was that his 5th card or
fifth
something?
card to get down. He wanted to get down there.
I did see him counting his discard pile.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't technically count your deck
Yeah.
according to the rules.
Really?
You can count your cards in play and discard pile, but picking up your deck is, you can obviously like mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not supposed to like pick up and count your deck.
Wait,
That
I
was in
thought
one
the number
version
of
of
cards is public information.
Yeah, that's
The number of cards in your discard pile and in play is.
Oh, interesting. Tim must have something in his hand.
General
He's-
Grievous on chat, you're a pro.
Hello. Hello there.
Ah, that's amazing.
What is that extra card that he has in his hand that we don't know about? Tim's thinking. He's
the thing
pondering.
is, so he's got one shield, right? So if he plays Ancient, it's going to take 2 Snoke to kill him, or the 3.
the
On the
3
ground.
and
if
another
only
one.
he had a Witch Magic
'Cause he's got a shield
and
also.
cards in his deck.
Yeah, that's right.
So that makes Leia's cannon not able to do it. He needs
Oh,
to
wait.
get 2
He's
different
paying
dice.
for something.
I
Okay.
think that's actually correct.
I mean, I think it's
'Cause-
close. That's why I was thinking
yeah.
about it. But yeah, I also err that way.
What did he
All right,
hit?
got
Blank.
nothing.
Hey.
A resource, a smash, and if he had had 2 blanks, that could have been game over.
That
Plus,
was
now he gets the benefit of the Ancient. Look at the people crowding in the background
Oh my
here.
gosh.
All right, he's got enough damage. He can move his shield, and he's got 2 2s showing. So
All
he
right,
can
can
kills.
Ian's got
Unless
control
Ian's got
here.
control.
He's got control and 5 resources.
All right,
Like, come on.
hidden motive.
Is the best control.
Hidden motive. Wow.
What is he doing? Did he have overconfidence? What's he? What, he took it back, and now we're back on something else. All right, hidden motive on the dagger. I think this is right.
All right.
50%
Is it
chance.
sticks?
And it's
It
gone.
is sticks.
So that means he can't steal a shield. Now Vader has 2 shields showing, which is huge. I actually keep that.
Take it. You take the shells.
I just leave it there.
I wish people could see us commentating because we've gone from a very relaxed stance
We're
to
doing
all
the
of
same thing, audience in the back.
yeah,
Right,
all 3
leaning-
of us are like leaning very adamantly towards this television screen watching. It's so intense.
The reason not to take the shields is if you believe that Ian still has Fist in his hand, because he's got the 5 resources, right? So if Ian's just like rolled out, but he still has that as a backup plan, then taking shields is a bad idea. You need to kill. So that is one line why you would go for it.
Well, part of me almost wants to punch him with Vader right now to make him use the illusion to see if I can flip the other fist.
It's risky business.
Just because, like, you just got to know.
I bet he feels real bad about that unyielding right now.
That would win the game.
That would win the game, yeah, fortunately.
So that Ancient is mostly useless, right? Because the +3 is never going to get, it's either going to overkill or hit into an illusion. The one
Depending
side
on how many cards Ian has
don't
left
do
in the deck,
anything
though.
yet.
Well, unfortunately, it's hard to tell because of the sleeves.
So he's just going to heal.
Is it going to heal? I don't disagree with that. It's extension. Here we go.
And yeah, at this point,
Does he
you got to
get...
believe he doesn't have the Fist, right? Because he surely would have.
He would have played it by now.
So focus.
Is that a smash or whatever you call it? Disrupt?
Disrupt, yeah.
So it's 2 focuses.
And
So he can focus into the 3.
That's
The
not
3
enough.
direct. No, it's not. But you can
Because
still
there's a
keep
shield
putting
hiding
pressure.
behind that dice over there.
Well,
Yeah.
once again, let's
I mean-
look at the player's body language here. Ian is not super happy, and Tim is just kind of pondering.
Well, again, like, this is not where Ian wants to find himself, right?
No,
like
absolutely
with Snoke,
not.
without a
We're
Vader's
now
fist in
3
play.
rounds beyond where we thought we would be.
All right, let's see if Vader's fist
give or
flips.
take. Wait, 1, 2,
Fist.
3. Oh,
There we
that's
go,
the
fist.
second fist, I think.
Yeah.
He pitched a fist earlier too.
Well, yeah.
So if Tim is smart, he'll recognize there are no more fists. I think. I'm pretty sure.
So then the question is 2 shields good enough?
I think it is.
I think so. I would do it.
You just got to live on a prayer. Although you only need 2 damage, right? You have 50% chance to win with anything Vader rolls. I reroll.
I
them.
mean, also-
every day I reroll.
And 1 out of 6 is back to shields.
Also, every turn he
And-
makes $2 to heal, to basically heal himself because he's like $2.
And like, so he's got 3 health left, right?
Am I
So-
wrong? Is that things on?
Oh, 2 focus. So now we're going.
It was a 2 focus.
Oh, there's the
Yeah.
5.
Oh, here we go. He's got
Here
a
we
control
go.
card. Add odds. Removing the 3. That is.
Oh!
If he focused to the
Tell-
side.
Because add odds keeps going to the bottom of the deck.
Tell the guest. What's it do?
Add odds is a 1-cost card. You remove a die showing an odd value, and you put it on the bottom of your deck. Incredible. Murray, who is that commentating? I'm Zach from Team Covenant. We have Sugi from Knights Run. Say hi,
Yo,
Sugi.
hi, Sugi.
And we have Eric Wainwright, local legend. Say hi.
Hey there, guys.
No, the master of Padawans. A true
So,
Jedi
if
master.
he had spun to the 2 guns, that would not have worked. Because
Correct.
it was an even number.
Man.
But I
Ooh.
would totally have gone to the 3 too. That's what I was thinking.
I
about
think
it.
you take those shields
but
now.
We saw add odds earlier,
That's
and
true.
it went on the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
And it's the kind that little play can be a difference between a championship and
And
a
this
second place.
this is the high level Destiny people love watching, and it just makes the. And I think what he's doing right now is verifying there's no fist. He's just making sure that... Wait, how many cards? Four?
4 cards left
Okay.
today, yeah.
Technically cheating due to Zach's information that was just given to us here. BB-8 is actually good.
BB-8 Superstar. It is known.
That new legendary BB-8 is actually quite the gem.
He's nice, but the old BB-8 was in my deck today, and he did some work for me. And it's swan song.
No disrespect.
Yeah, right.
Can he go roll some credits? What's Tim's play here?
We think it's to probably discard, right? You have a 3 and 6 to win.
Either the same or
1 and 6 to just get back to where you are.
Yeah.
The money's useless and the blank is bad.
I agree. Tommy Two-Tone
Well,
says
like-
Ian has to claim. I do think that's probably true here in this
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah.
Almost.
That's the risk, though. I mean, you take a 1.
Oh,
Okay,
he claimed.
claiming.
He's claiming.
Whoa.
I don't think
I mean,
that's
it's-
wrong, because
the
if he
thing
rolls
about
out
it-
lethal, like,
That's right.
what are you going to do? You have to mitigate it. And then he's still sitting on Ancient, and he can
Right.
prop
So
down.
now he has to discard anything that is not
Mitigate.
helpful.
Yeah, basically he has to dig for
So
mitigation.
wave.
here.
Man, that is a...
That's a ballsy play.
I feel like a 50-50
Okay,
to
if
win
you
the
were
game.
keeping Stifle, you should have played Stifle at the end of the round.
I think he's just keeping cards.
Also, don't forget, everyone who's watching, we've been here since 11, 10?
Mm-hmm.
This is like literally round 15. Like, it's been a while. Oh, what did he get? Oh, there's sticks. I think that's lethal
All
showing.
right. I think him actually passing the next round was correct.
So
discard your hand.
Just discard your hand.
Yeah, he does.
He
And
does.
Kill
that's-
him, yeah.
Oh my
Woo!
goodness. That is amazing. We are heading to a game 3. I can't.
4 rounds later than we thought it was going to be.
That was so crazy.
Can we just take a moment and talk just a little bit about the patience that Tim showed? Like, this is something that a lot of people don't discuss, and like as a control player, this is one of those skills you have to use to get yourself out of really bad positioning. And Tim was so patient when he could. Like, we were talking all the time about what he could do, what he might do, and he did the right things. And
I think he identified he needed to kill Tarkin, and after that he was like, okay,
He gave himself a
I'm
chance.
allowed to take some
And
shields
now,
now.
the thing is, as we're heading into game 3, again, the loser of that game, which is Ian, gets to pick the battlefield, he picks his own, and they both won on their battlefield. And I think this is speaking volumes to the momentum that is created by having an extra resource on that first turn. So I think this is going to be an incredible game. They both worked out. I mean, this is it. We're almost 12 hours in to this event.
And I've yet to see a bad game today.
It's crazy. So huge props to both Ian and Tim for making it this far, for doing so well. Very impressive showing, and
Thank you to everyone for joining
It all
us.
comes down to this. Yeah, and, again, like I've said several times now, huge shout out to everyone watching, sharing the content, and of course, even huger shout out to all our Booster Box subscribers and Saga Set pre-orders, allowing us to do everything that we do, including the stream. So props to that, and a huge props to the Destiny community for being awesome, and for just going crazy on social media yesterday to get us here to stream today. And finally, props to Sugi from Knights of Ren for commentating here tonight with us. And again, Eric Wainwright doing this because they want to for several hours after a long tournament. So major props to them, and I really appreciate it. And I
What else
appreciate
would
all
you
the
do?
comments today.
This is like
Anything?
This is no. I'd rather be here with my friends talking about a game that I love, because you don't get to see this every day. Like, when was the last time you went to a shop and you just saw this insane just stuff happening?
We still got like a dozen people hanging around watching these two people battle it out.
Yeah, in the store and tell
What's
the people all
most
over the world.
exciting is
Hey,
McNally's
If
afterwards.
you're listening and watching right now, I'd love for you to check in and just say where you're watching from, because that always blows my mind. But I'd love to know where everyone at home right now, where you're watching from.
I'm watching from Tulsa.
Sage Leader, you joined at a great time. This is the finals. It is best of 3, and this is game 3. Each player has won 1. Tim lost the last game. He's on the right, playing Vader, Greedo. Ian on the left from Oklahoma City, playing Snoke, Tarkin. So Ian lost in this last round, so he actually got to choose the battlefield. He chose his battlefield. They're both on Theed Palace. Incredible battlefield with a power action to gain a resource. And here we are.
Arizona, Kansas City, all across the state. South Carolina. Very cool. So yeah, if you're in the area,
Keep checking in. New Jersey, Arizona, go game 3. I'm really happy we're in game 3. I was a little nervous that it was going to be over there. And I just like
NYC.
seeing a good match, Like,
Oh, it was great, and it was a total seemed like come from behind. Like, we definitely would have put high
was
odds
nuts.
on Ian. And so Tim, just like he came back in the semifinals, had another game where he came back from a seemingly, single-digit percentage or something like that, and found a way.
Austin Regional, next week.
Yeah, I mean, it feels, as a kid, I used to watch wrestling with my grandpa. And the best matches, obviously, were the ones where someone gets ahead, and then the other guy kind of gets some momentum, and then it turns back the other way, and it turns back the other way, and you just don't know who's going to win, and it goes crazy. And this is what this is.
That's what that
back
was.
and forth, back and forth, and here we are.
That's crazy awesome.
Yeah, we have people from everywhere. Fredericksburg, Virginia.
New
Switzerland.
Zealand? That's great.
I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind every time. I'm always impressed.
Fredericksburg, Virginia. Yeah, that's over with Todd and Rick's shop.
All right, so hey, we have Chance Cube coming down on Tarkin, and then an Ancient on Vader. We didn't even see Chance Cube last game. Zero cost upgrade, pay one when you roll it in or bounce it to your hand.
Actually rolled a value.
And Tim, for the first time in this game, has put down some upgrade on round 1.
That's right.
That's important.
That is important.
But what's more important is that Chance Cube actually did something, because it's a 50-50. Believe you me, I've had that discussion with Chance Cube. Like, look, Die, you got to give me something here. I'm paying into you. What do we get? Ancient already? So I feel like Tim found the magical formula. If you kill Tarkin, you have a surviving chance.
He's showing 5 sticks. So the Vader 4 for 1, going to cost him money. Can't afford it. Gaining a money here with Tarkin. Again, 3 money thanks to the Snoke has a power action. He can damage one of his friends. Resolve one of their dice at +2. So now Ian at 4, looking at Theed Palace 5. That could be a Vader's Fist on turn 1, which would be a very different game.
It would be a
than
very
we
different
got
game.
in the past 2.
But here's the question: if you're putting that damage into Tarkin and you take 5 right here, you could see a dead Tarkin by turn 2. Is it worth getting the fist out when you just have a Snoke?
I mean, the fist replaces Tarkin for your damage ability, right? So you definitely have inevitability when you have that down. But yeah, I mean, the longer you keep Tarkin around, obviously, the better.
Okay, there's that 5th resource, so we know it's coming. Yeah, give him the George Takei. Oh my! I know that's the wrong franchise, but we're about to see something happen here. Something magical. Vader's Fist.
Rise again, number 1. Okay, looks like watch this.
Here it comes. The nuts.
There it is. All right. So again, I think we're going to have a very different tempo of a game.
This one isn't going 4 rounds later than we thought.
No,
One
Vader's
way or the
Fist
other.
will do a thing.
Yeah.
Many of a thing.
Especially with the focus showing on Tarkin.
And Tim knows he's on a clock now, so he
right.
has.
So unlike
to
last
make
game
his-
where he was like, I can take shields,
Yeah.
this is a game where he says, I can't take shields.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, also Tim here forgetting to take the shields starting the game. That's a big deal. Now, I will say Tim is showing 7.
That sucks.
So we could see a different kind of game in another way, which is if he has friends in low places here, like we've seen him want.
Friends in high.
That's what I meant.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love Friends in Low too, but yeah, the game is not over. It's just clearly. So something about Vader's Fist, for those of you who don't know.
There he
you
goes.
can-
Okay.
Oh, what do we
All right.
get?
Let's
Easy.
see.
What do we
Spin
get?
the
There's a
wheel.
clash. Nothing.
He did.
Fear
he
and
got
Dead.
Fear and Dead, man. That's
and
good
Dead.
for.
Isn't horrible.
It's,
It's a 2-side, right? So,
I mean, if it's the best thing. So something that you should probably know is if you have a value of 7 or higher showing, you can play a card called Friends in High Places, which lets you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play one of them for free. So what Tim on the right side is trying to do is he's searching for big bombs. If he can get an upgrade, if he can get a Vader's Fist of his own, if he can get some more threats.
Remembering the
I
shields.
remember the shields, yeah.
So he's got
Unfortunately.
another Friends in High Places, which I feel like you've got to go
Do
for.
it. You
Probably.
do it.
Yeah, because the other one's only 2 damage.
I would
Even a 3-cost saber here. I mean, 4 auto damage. Right
If he gets
now
like a
is
dark
pretty
saber
good.
here, it's pretty
Like,
good.
Resolving that.
No, What? he's just doing
he's
it.
resolving the 4 for free, so he saves a resource.
We talked earlier about how
And
Tim
he-
likes to
he
be
gets 4 extra
keep
damage.
his.
He's patient.
Yeah, I mean, he's like making sure he gets some value out of it.
He's 2 shields short, which couldn't
No,
matter.
he got the
He
shields.
got the shields. They gave it.
I
They
think-
fixed it.
I think they may have
Okay.
hurt us.
Well,
that's fine.
That's important.
Yeah, nothing did really happen yet, so that's good. That's an important.
I don't feel like that's a optional thing in the rules either.
Yeah, but it's also once someone does damage,
Matters.
it's hard to go back.
What do we get here?
Focus, which is
Focus on a
good.
blank. Now that's also telling that he didn't play anything on Snoke, so he doesn't have any holocrons. Doesn't have any more cheap things he's trying to do, because what he could have done is resolved the chance cube to get 1 and then play a force jump.
Sure.
So it's
I think he would have been more likely to focus into a 3 and get 3 money, so he has force jump plus resources for Vader,
Sure.
kind of a thing. But now he's got.
but he's got 3 cards in his hand, so he's probably sitting on removal if Tim's reading the room right.
I agree, Joe. I think allowing him to get the shields is a play. I mean, we've seen this all day throughout the tournament and people talking. It's one of the things that makes Destiny such a great community is that, I think everyone's here for the right reasons, and they just want to have a good, clean game.
Mm-hmm.
So I always appreciate that in play.
So let's think as Vader players. What's going on in Tim's head here?
Murder him.
Yeah, Tarkin's off the board round 2 sometime.
I mean, think about this. Vader, we're seeing more damage in this round than we saw across like 5 rounds last game. It's really amazing.
But this is that methodical Tim we saw in the last game where he's processing, he's doing, data mining in his brain. What are the odds? What can he do? What are his outs? And if you look at where his eyes are, he's reading the board, but he also likes to look at his opponent and try and figure out what's his body language telling him. What does his opponent have? And how can he use that against the opponent to gain an advantage? And I think it's just really interesting that there's so many things that could happen here, and we're just going to have to watch and see what Tim does. But the fact that he's way more lax with his cards means he's probably got something in his pocket.
I mean, I'm okay getting 2 money
I
with
think
Vader.
the 2 money is normally good on round 1, yep. And then what else are you going to get off of the...
I love watching Donovan on the bottom left here just watch Ian. He's just staring him down. He's like, okay, you drink water.
The
to be a
classic
champion.
water drink, a sign of fear.
No, Ian looks pretty relaxed.
No, he's fine. All right, there we go.
All right.
Like you said,
So,
$2.
5 money for next round. If he
Here comes the
gets his
fist. What did he get? Shields?
Yeah, but he's got focus for days.
But do you take the shields to
Shields?
sustain?
Yeah, in this thing, that's maybe
Because
one
then you
more
can
round of
you
Tarkin.
can power action and then focus into something else later. And here we go. Are we gonna do
6 for 8?
6 out of 8? Yeah. The answer is no. It's not looking good for hidden motive today.
So we're going to focus. The big question for me is, do you focus into the 2 focus, which he's doing? Because you could use the Tarkin power action on the focus sides that you had to do 4
just to do
damage.
4. Yeah.
Or you
could've
do what
just-
he's doing
You could have
here.
just focused the
Focus
fist,
in the 3.
but now you get the 3 resources and the fist.
And he still has the focus to, because we still have a power action out of the fist coming.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, he's going for Tarkin, which is what we expected.
Yeah, he's going to do a lot of damage here. So, the crazy part of this is, Ian's got another focus. So he's going to gain a money here with a Q. Breaks even. Got 3 more damage coming at Vader.
Correct.
And I know you're a big proponent of this, but he could have killed Greedo there.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like a lot of top players are just going straight at Vader no matter what. Playing Stifle, that could be a big deal in a minute.
Ooh. What does Stifle do?
It's 1 cost support, and when your opponent plays an event, it gets canceled, and you get rid of the support, but it's just the first event. So
And it's not optional.
a lot of times players will play a 0 cost event just to get rid of it, but that basically just wastes a card and invests a resource for you that just knows they have to take an action to be able to mitigate any of your dice, which can be really nice.
Yeah. So
Do you think he's going to play a dud just to open up himself for mitigation as soon as
Absolutely.
Tarkin rolls?
Yeah, I mean,
Especially if
it
you
looks
have
like he
zero
had
cost.
friends in low places. He's paying. Okay, it's a
Ooh.
Vader saver.
Or he could
that's
just
that's
deal
a lot
damage.
of damage. Yeah, Vader can just go out there and get it done.
Who needs
Now,
to play events when you can roll
the thing
damage?
is, Stifle's the kind of card.
Did he pay for the chance cube?
Yeah, he had 4 resources.
Okay.
Stifle
common.
is the kind of card that you can forget about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just unbelievably easy.
That's kind of why it's there, too. All right, lots of blanks.
This is where Feel Your Anger would just be
No.
a great play.
Yeah. Or you activate Snoke
Does
instead.
not exist.
What do we got here?
A lot of focus.
Focuses,
Focus
dollars.
So,
Do you power action on Tarkin to get just a buttload of focus?
I mean, I don't think so. I think you are going to actually try to resolve for way more on whatever you want. I mean, you could focus with the 2 Snoke into a 2 discard and a 2 resource, or a 2 damage, and then you basically either have a discard 4 or 4 damage showing.
That's true.
But I think more than anything, you got to get Vader's fist out. That's where you really want to focus. I'm going to say this game is going to finish in less turns than the extra turns we got last time.
Yeah.
Which mathematically makes sense. All right, what is Tim
He didn't like his
Doing
role.
here?
He's
I
gonna
don't like
send
his
it all
role.
back.
Can you blame him? A buttload of focus. The story of Star Wars Destiny.
That's a good roll. So we got the sticks on both the Ancient and the Vader, which means if he can resolve Vader, not going to happen.
Oh.
Yep.
Resolving the lightsaber, that is worth so much damage, it's crazy.
Yeah. And he doesn't get to roll back in, so
Yeah.
can't mitigate Vader easily, but all his other stuff is fair game.
And for those of you who don't,
This game is on a razor's edge. So Tarkin here has 5 health left, and we've seen what happens when Tarkin goes down. Now, luckily, Snoke this time is backed up by Vader's fist.
so, Greedo could go crazy and just roll 2.
Yeah.
And if he does, that's like MVP good guy Greedo. Like, frame that Greedo and never let it die again.
And we haven't seen
Price of
Failure.
But he's got to get through the stifle, so Price of Failure is a tough one to
What
do.
if he has 2 price of failures?
Sure. I'm not
If,
saying
if Respite gets canceled by Stifle, do you still tap the character?
you do not.
Cool. So, Respite.
No, you just throw it away.
Oh, man.
Oh. Does
That's a lot.
Ian have mid? Yep.
All right,
here we go.
He really wants Tarkin off the
Playing
table.
overconfident, so reroll 2 dice, remove the ones showing the lower value. He removed the one showing sticks. So now he's got 2 money showing there on Vader and a 1 damage showing on...
Yeah, but he's
Ancient.
eating through Ian's removal, which means the longer the game goes, the better the odds. Vader has to just keep punching him in the face.
Yeah.
Because you only have so many removal spells when you have 30 cards in a deck. It's not infinite. What's really interesting, though, it seems like Tim is just really comfortable. He's still thinking really hard, but he hasn't shown that concern like he did in the last game where he's trying to, like, stay alive. Like you were saying, he's not playing to not lose.
Yeah.
He's definitely playing to win at this
Well,
point.
I also feel like he's in a considerably better position this game.
Oh, yeah. Even with a fist staring him down.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is, like, if you were trying to maximize your value on your rerolls and stuff, you would have rolled Greedo in earlier, but I think he was really trying to get Tarkin off the table before, power action or all that focus could be used and stuff. And Ian it seems like is going to at least get to maximize his dice on that side. So, and also throwing the respite probably means he doesn't have any other stifle bait. So Tim's probably playing without events for this round and the beginning of next round.
Which is rough.
Yep.
Unless you can get the job done here.
Clearly, he's trying to deduce if he's going to pitch to roll and try and get aggressive, or if he's going to take what he's got and move into the next round. So that's the interesting thing to watch him make these decisions. Okay, so he's going to power action the die back in, using Vader's power action, which allows him to pitch a card, reroll a die that was removed in the previous round. Now, unfortunately, he got resources, but also you can set yourself up for some big plays.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Rise Again.
We've talked about Rise Again. He hasn't got his
Vader's
fist.
Fist. Dark Saber. So he's not in a bad place. He's still got plenty of health to play around with too, especially with the indirect damage that's going to be coming
So
in.
he is Snoking.
Greedo
He's
can-
going to focus right now. Is he trying to get into his hand?
Oh, blank.
He's got anger.
He's got anger.
Okay. So,
Well, time to get shields and money.
Yep,
yeah.
I agree.
I mean, you just resolve the
You resolve the stick real quick.
stick real quick, right?
You just poke him.
Were you thinking
He,
like?
no, he switched
No.
which one he blanked.
That makes sense. So now he's got the 4
So he's
indirect
got
showing if he
6
wants it,
indirect floating.
plus the 4 from the power action.
The nice thing is, though, Greedo can soak 3 of it. So it's really only 3 into Vader, and
Oh,
he's...
Greedo, if you roll the 2 guns.
Greedo! Greedo's shooting him with the pew-pew guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's better than Vader getting angered, unless there's another anger.
It's true.
Can you imagine if
Double
there's a second
anger.
anger?
Oh my god. That would be ruthless. Do you pitch to reroll here? Tim's thinking the same thing. If you could kill Tarkin, would you do it? Or would you take the resources and set up for the next round? Because don't forget, he hasn't rolled out Fist.
Yep.
He still has 2
of
rounds,
those.
and he's got 2 focus on Tarkin, so he's going to get...
He's going to get the max plus the other 4.
So do you try and roll for that max damage to kill? Because, sure, he takes $4, but the problem is he's going to take a lot of damage in the face. Tough. Very tough.
It is. I mean, especially if Ian's holding either anger or even other mitigation, right? This is his last card. I don't know what it is necessarily, but this is okay rolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Re-rolling it and getting blanks, it would be real bad.
Which goes back to what I was saying earlier. You really can't afford to get greedy, but
Sometimes,
sometimes you
I think
have
it's
to.
a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of points of where you feel you are in the game. Like when you're at a 5% win, you get greedy because your only chances are to just spike some random chance or whatever it is. And when you're way ahead, you play the conservative route.
All right, he's resolving the sticks.
The real question mark for me is, if you get Ian to think that you're kind of done here. All right, he's just letting Greedo go.
He's just taking Greedo, huh? Oh,
And Greedo gets another
all
damage.
He power actioned his 2 to do the 4. Okay, so he's now only.
Greedo just did 4 damage.
Wow, hilarious. Good guy, Greedo.
We did 2, but like.
We need
rolled
to
2
we
and
need
then
to take
did
that
2.
Greedo out to dinner after this.
That's right.
Show him a good time.
He did 2 damage to his Vader guy and 2 damage to Tarkin. He was just shooting everywhere. If you count the one that was on Tarkin from the Snoke power action.
Just sign that good guy Greedo.
So it's 9 health to 9 health right now, by the way.
Do you pitch?
But we have 4 indirect coming from Tarkin and 2 Vader's fist rolls.
And 2 Vader's fist rolls.
So I think part of why I would re-roll Vader here is if you don't get Tarkin off the board, you have a focus on the fist happening.
Yeah, with the Greedo's thing now, you only need any melee
2,
side.
yeah.
But again, if Ian's holding on to some type of mitigation, you're not.
I feel like you have to risk it. You have to push the envelope here.
Are you behind right now? I mean, if you take money right now,
I mean, he's
and
going to get 2 Vader's
if
fists
he,
on
if he
whatever
has a
side he
rise again in
wants.
his hand, right? You take your money. Next round, you rise again.
I feel like he
No,
would
no,
have done
listen.
that already.
If you Vader's fist for 6 and do the 4 indirect from Tarkin's power action, it's over.
It's dead.
Okay.
Technically not. You could heal 2 with Ancient, and you have 1 left.
Which feels really bad.
But if you re-roll Vader and get it, and he can't control it, then
He's doing it.
Here we go.
If you're dead,
All
man. Okay,
right.
that card moves.
Sticks, he's got it.
So now,
Ian
what
goes
does
for the
Ian do?
removal. Yep.
No, he has anger again.
Oh my
Double
God.
anger.
Oh my.
It's your card, Zach.
It is my
It's
card.
going to win a regional. That makes.
That sucks.
Well, yeah. I mean, now.
2 shields are going to heal, and
And now you're in
He's
that
got
same
the
position,
3.
and it's worse.
I mean, you had to risk it. You didn't have a choice. You can't let Tarkin sit there and just poke you.
the only way that's not the right call is if Vader or Rise Again's in the top 5.
Top 5, yes. So.
But you can't. Get into money.
No, yeah, he has the money for it now. All right. Just
Claimed already, and we've got to focus.
yeah, that's it, isn't
This is
it?
gonna
No,
be-
because why didn't he
that's it.
heal?
It's because there's no way out. End it. There you
Yep,
have it.
There we go.
All right, huge congrats here to Ian Shaffer on taking the Tulsa Regional for 2019. Thank you to everybody else for watching, and huge thanks goes out to anybody that's pre-ordered a Convergence Saga set or is a Booster Box subscriber. You allow us to do stuff just like this. Shout out to the Destiny community for being awesome, for getting behind all the likes to get us to do this stream. To everyone that came to the Tulsa Regional, and of course, a huge thank you goes to Sugi from Knights of Ren for helping us do commentary, and for local legend Eric Wainwright of Padawan fame for helping us here. To all of you at home watching and commenting and sharing this video, thank you so much. We'll be back with more Destiny, I am certain, in the near future. And until then, keep playing. I'll let you guys say anything you want to say. Any goodbyes from you before we go? Also, last plug for me, if you are unfamiliar of it, we have the Covenant Masters finale happening in 2 weeks from today, right here at Covenant Tulsa. All are welcome. We have a handful of spots remaining. So if you're thinking about coming to that event, sign up, and we'd love to have you in Tulsa in a couple weeks. We'll be joined by lead designer Jeremy Zwern for Star Wars Destiny, as well as people from all over the country and all over the world. So hope to see you guys there. Any final comments from you guys?
I just want to say I had a great day of Destiny. I love these full days of Destiny and getting to watch it, getting to play it, and everything like that. And I think it's in a great spot, and looking forward to seeing a whole nother year of it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having us. I'm really excited to come back in a couple weeks for the Masters event. And if you're listening to podcasts, we do a show called Knights of Ren. We talk exclusively about Destiny, both on the competitive and casual side, and we're going to be covering this event a ton. So it's just a really exciting time for Destiny, and this community here is just fantastic. So once again, thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
You bet. All right. Until next time, everyone, keep playing.